There's a lot of interesting happening in auto ancillary. Vinnie Mehta, he's the head of Auto Component Manufacturers Association, is joining us now. Vinnie, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. One of the agencies have put out a report that auto ancillary industry is poised for 20% plus kind of growth this year. And going forward also the outlook is very good, given that things will start improving. But up till now, when we speak to auto manufacturers, the kind of we don't get the same kind of enthusiasm in their conversation, in our conversations with them. Are there inquiries on new models being developed? What are your thoughts on the health and outlook for auto components?
Thank you for having me. I think the numbers put by ICRA, if I'm not mistaken, look good because everything is coming on a very low base, and you must also understand that the first quarter of the last fiscal, that is the year gone by, was a complete washout. Okay, and if you look at the performance of the industry, if I may take you back a little bit, the fiscal year 18-19 was the best possible year of performance for the entire automotive industry, the vehicle industry and the component industry. And thereafter, the vehicle industry suffered a downturn in the year 19-20. It came down by about 14%. And then it was followed by the year of pandemic, where again, the vehicle sales came down by around 14%. I'm talking about the combined vehicle sales, taking into account all the vehicle segments, including the tractors and the off-road. So if you really compute 2 years of 14% subsequent reduction in the number, this really works out to be around 75% of what it was in the year 1920. And on back of it, the performance of the component industry has also witnessed, degrowth. The numbers for FY 2021 for the component industry are yet to be declared by us, maybe in a week's time or so. So from the year 1920, the component industry would have come down by another 20% or so. So therefore, the numbers that are being looked for the next year are definitely on a base that is much smaller than what it was in the year 1920. But having said that, I'm very proud of the fact that the entire industry has shown a huge amount of resilience in the pandemic year, both the lockdowns. The industry has supported each other very, very well. The direction from the OEMs has been very, consistent, and also the government support has been very good. So, yes, I would say that 2021-22 would be definitely better, notwithstanding the fact that we're discounting another, wave of pandemic, and we all would wish it not to happen. But it is so far so good that the recovery has been healthy. So I would really look at it from this perspective. Yeah.
Right. Vinnie, the other point is that the noise around EVs is only getting louder. Every day we read about some large company talking about increasing their EV-related offerings. Just yesterday, Tata Motors was one having their con call, big lineup ahead. And now even Tesla is talking about looking or being open to be manufacturing here in India. And they say that the number of auto components required for an EV versus an IC engine will actually reduce drastically. In this kind of a scenario, which are the companies, do you think, are the categories of auto components which are likely to flourish, and which are the ones which are at risk if engine is absolutely replaced? Because clearly there would be, some would become bigger and some would vanish.
So Ajay, I would first of all allay any fears that anybody, whether the investors or the industry, might have with respect to the EVs. If you look at, say, 2030 or so, and say if we take passenger vehicles, so say by 2030, if the passenger vehicles volumes could be anywhere between 8 to 10 millions, and by any count at a, say, stretch, if the EVs are also 30% of that, you're really talking about a very sizable portion of the industry, which is, say, 70% of 10 million is 7 million units. which is double of the current size of the market, which is still ICE engines. So we do not see as such any threat from the EVs coming in. And of course, ACMA has always maintained that the roadmap for the vehicle industry should be technology agnostic. The Indian market is a very sizable market, and various kinds of technologies can coexist here. So in that sense, I do not think so one needs to sort of push a panic button and say, you know, the players in the traditional segment are going to wither away. I also see it as a huge opportunity because, you know, as willy-nilly you see various developed countries, Europe especially, some of the countries are declaring year 2025, some are saying 2030 will be the year when they completely close down their EV manufacturing. They close their traditional ICE engine manufacturing or vehicle of ICE engine, you know. So what happens is there's a sizable installed base, we call it the vehicle park, that would still be available to be serviced. And if India plays very smartly, you know, we could really become a hub for manufacturing of ICE engine and products for the whole world. So I do not see as such a threat coming in from the electric mobility. But having said that, as you also have said, there are many new technological changes that are taking place. The industry has to prepare to you know, literally give more value-added solutions to its customers to be more relevant. One cannot deny the need for investing more in technology, in creating newer products. I think our score on that count is still quite poor, and still some distance that we need to cover to really become a technology hub, if I were to say from an automotive perspective. Yeah.
Right. All right, Vinnie, we'll let you go on that one. Thanks so much for your thoughts. That was some clearing of myths coming in from ACMA head Vinnie Mehta. With that, it's a wrap on the show. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.